Imagine being born into a world where your value was measured only by strength, where weakness meant death, and your life belonged not to your family, but to the state. This was the life of a Spartan. When a Spartan child was born, their future was decided almost immediately. Elders inspected the newborn. If the baby was healthy and strong, they were allowed to live. If not, they were abandoned in the wild. Sparta tolerated no weakness. In the first years, boys stayed with their mothers. Spartan women were expected to raise tough children, no spoiling, no softness. While Athenian children played with toys, Spartan boys were taught to endure hunger, cold, and hardship. Even then, the state was watching. At the age of 7, the true Spartan life began. Boys were taken from their families and placed in the agoge, the infamous Spartan training system. Here, they learned discipline, obedience, survival, and warfare. They slept on reeds, often barefoot, and were given little food. To survive, they had to steal, but if they were caught, it was not the theft that was punished, but the failure. Pain was constant. They were whipped to test their endurance, sometimes to death, in public ceremonies. One of the most important lessons of the agoge was loyalty to their comrades and to Sparta. Boys were grouped into units that lived, ate, and trained together. These bonds would last a lifetime, creating warriors who fought not as individuals, but as one unbreakable unit. At 20, a Spartan male officially became a soldier. He entered the barracks, living full-time with his comrades, though he could marry. Even then, he could only visit his wife secretly at night. Sparta demanded that the soldier's life belonged first to the state. Unlike other Greek city-states, Spartan women had unusual freedoms. They owned land, managed estates, and received physical training to stay strong. A famous saying declared, "Only Spartan women give birth to real men." For the warrior, family came second. Duty to Sparta came first. A Spartan's entire life was built for one purpose: war. Their weapons were simple: spear, shield, and short sword, but their discipline made them unstoppable. In battle, their phalanx formation was nearly invincible. Their code was clear: return with your shield or on it. To lose one's shield meant cowardice, for it protected not just yourself, but the man beside you. In 480 BCE, King Leonidas and 300 Spartans made their legendary stand at Thermopylae against the vast Persian army. Though they all fell, their sacrifice became eternal, showing the world that courage could defy impossible odds. For a Spartan, this was the ultimate honor: death in service to the state. At the age of 30, a Spartan could finally live with his family, but even then, military service continued until 60. A man's life remained bound to Sparta, whether in war, politicians, or virtue. Wills, Harborage, Scares, Gaiwas, Viocors. If he survived, a Spartan warrior reached old age with respect. Veterans trained younger men, advised leaders, and lived as honored citizens. Yet the society they built was fragile. Sparta's obsession with war made them feared, but also inflexible. In time, Sparta declined, but the legend of the Spartan life never died. The life of a Spartan was not one of comfort or freedom, but of duty and discipline. From birth to death, every step was shaped by the state. Today, their story fascinates us not because of their power, but because of their sacrifice. The Spartans remind us of the price of greatness and the cost of living for war. If you enjoyed this journey into the life of a Spartan, subscribe for more history and mythology brought to life. And tell me in the comments, could you survive the Spartan way?